How do streaming platforms get new viewers?
Anything you need, just ask.
Is this permanent?
your map. May your maps be merciful.
Yo. Is it rude though? He's the guy you put the map in.
You honor the way by swiftly delivering death to warriors who fought well.
The question now, exile,
Yeah.
is whether or not you're foolish enough to face him down. I think you just might be.
What? God damn. So annoying.
My mana is gone.
Welcome. See you soon.
Exile.
Ooh, really? This is Bog. I killed the boss. My guys. Okay. Alright.
Glad you made it back. May your maps be merciful. Learn anything new? Stay sane.
Hey, man. This isn't a crafting bench. How you doing this morning, afternoon, morning/afternoon? Everyone left? Man, that. No idea. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. So the last 8 used. Orange funds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
monitor's gone.
Well, if we're like. Okay.
My mana is gone. That would only slow me down. My mana is gone.
No, good.
My mana is gone. My mana is gone. My mana is gone.
Two, Two. Be right back.
Bruh. LMAO. Bruh. LMAO.
making a speech about people rising up. Exactly what the left
Trying to
wants.
call him out on what he was trying to stir up.
No,
I'm not
stirring
trying to
anything
stir up
up.
anything.
No. Oh, I'm gonna pick the parsnips! Yes! Look at me!
Damn.
Boys, I have a question for all three of you. Do you play Fortnite? Boy.
Why are helicopters so dangerous? Fog nuisance. That's makes sense. You don't drive through fog.
printing press, which I think unlocked a insane revolution and led to massive literacy around the world, and now human beings can hold on to information in a totally different way. And the argument I'm going to present today and kind of the tactics I'm going to give you is why YouTube and Twitch, in my opinion, is actually a Gutenberg-type invention. Because from Gutenberg, we moved, from the printing press, we moved to radio, and now people can actually hear things and broadcast ideas to many people at once. And in television, we had highly produced and scripted content that can be broadcasted to many people at once. But YouTube was really the pioneering factor of now anybody with fairly decent low-cost technology can reproduce the effects of radio and television potentially to millions of people, whether it be like a cat video that gets like 6 million views or something like this, right? And Twitch took that a step further by making that process iterative and live with interaction. So I can, if I say something stupid, now it doesn't take a couple hours for me to know that. It takes literally 2 seconds because my Twitch chat's gonna spam it at me, right? So we don't totally understand the power of this, I think, yet, or the implications of it, and what exactly this all means. So we're kind of all just sort of like piloting ourselves through space, not really sure like what the implications of these things are. And I see broadcasters with 20,000 viewers playing Rock Simulator, right? Which is a game where you play as a rock, and that's it. That's the whole thing. You got it. Like, that's what you do. So what are the implications of that? Like, what if that person tells those people to go vote or something? Like, right? Like, what happens when we have these thousands of people under what I would call, like, the traditional word is influencers, right? Which are kind of full circle back to the sort of oratory nature of civilization that we started with, right? Where we have these tribal leaders. Influencers are basically people that you know, like, and trust, who will recommend you to do certain actions or buy certain products and services based on what they like, hopefully, or what they're getting paid to do. And so at Nerd Fusion, we crunch tons of numbers about this, and I can tell you that influencer marketing is more powerful than anything else. And I've been marketing since the old days of ebooks in 2012, like doing one-page Google advertisements for like medical books that I wrote with like a doctor that I paid some money to at an urgent care, right? And like put those up. So if you look at like the way that I did that kind of advertising, which is like pay-per-click, where you pay Facebook to run ads, that has just no comparison to the level of engagement and conversion that I will get if I tell my Twitch chat right now to buy something that I really believe in. Because some of these people have been watching me for 4 or 5 years, right? Meaning that they've seen me grow up, literally, and I've seen them grow up. I know many of them by name. I've met several of them in real life, and I talk to most of them on the regular and consider a huge percentage of them like actually close friends. As in, like, if I was screwed and out of money, I would call them and crash on their couch, and I'm sure it would be fine. Right? That's great. So far, is this talk super stupid, or is it really good? Excellent. Okay, cool beans. All right, we're gonna keep going. I think it's important that when you look at Twitch, you kind of understand like what the power of the medium is, right? It's like
The same thing I'm doing.
Gated normal people from being able to utilize it. If you wanted to be on television, you had to go through this like really complex process of like being in Hollywood or something. I don't know what it involved. It was dramatic. And if you want to be on Twitch, you literally have to download a program and hit the start streaming button. And then if you're doing something interesting, you can be in front of a huge amount of people in a very short time. And there's a concept also that I think everybody's like sort of intuitively familiar with, but maybe hasn't exactly thought through, and that's the concept of virality, right? So virality is this kind of new thing that came along with YouTube and Twitch, which is like, if you create something that's really interesting, because of the shareable nature of social media, it can go out to a huge percentage of people, and all of a sudden you can, and with Twitch, I've seen broadcasts, one of them was like, I think the one that imprinted on my mind most notably was like, this farmer set up this stream to watch like ducklings hatch. They had like these eggs, and like they just watched the eggs hatch, and this was immediately this like huge deal, and like thousands of people just showed up immediately. Like they just talked to each other, and they came in and they saw they wanted to watch the ducks hatch. And there's been like a bunch of things like that on Twitch, where it's like, oh wow, we've bypassed all of the traditional means of gatekeeping us away from having a voice, and we're now on this like really what would be the word, sort of uncharted territory. What the hell are the implications of that? Like nobody really knows. Twitch definitely doesn't know, right? That's why they're having tons of problems with enforcement and trust and safety and trying to figure out like what's okay to broadcast. Like all of this is, and there's no one helping us, right? The law can't help us. They're years behind. So Twitch and YouTube are literally pioneering the future of communication at a breakneck speed. And all of us are along for the ride, all of you are along for the ride, and no one knows what the hell is going on. And it could most certainly lead to our absolute destruction or our enlightenment. I have no idea. But so that's the preface. That's what you're dealing with, right? And to me, being on the edge of that reality is insanely exciting. So I want to talk about Twitch and YouTube because that's what I'm actually here to do, right? And sort of give you guys some sort of tactical overview of how I look at it, and if you are going to be starting streams, like what you might want to accomplish and what you might want to keep in mind. Is that okay? All right. So I would say at first, right, the number one thing that I think about when I'm running a broadcast is, am I going to do something that is really truly different from other people? And how's that going to shake out, right? So if you look at like someone like Shroud, or someone like someone like Shroud, who's like an FPS gamer on Twitch, he's just the best at what he does. I think we think he's like a government experiment that escaped or something. Like he's so good at FPS, at every FPS, that it's just ridiculous. It's like insane to imagine how good he is. You look at someone like Dr. Disrespect, who's another really big personality on the platform, and he just has this like really unique character that people are endeared to. So if you look at me, my opinion is that I literally run the best industry show on Twitch, and it's just uncontestable. There's nobody that does this like I do. And so what is that edge that will, and that if you just do that alone, then you're just like, okay, you just zone out of this talk and play StarCraft or something like I did in college. Like then if you just get that, you're good, right? But there's more. Okay. The other concept I would think about once you have that down is how big do you want to be, right? And we're going to go through all the monetization models of like how this actually works. But I would say there's two concepts that I think would be great here. So the first concept is one called 1,000 True Fans. This is an article that's written by KT Rolster. So the way that it works is, actually they're watching my stream right now, right? The audio's just muted? Oh my god, I could actually, like, I could do the same stuff that I teach with my stream. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to transition over here, and we're going to go to my infamous notepad. All right? So let's say that you have 1,000 fans. This is probably not going to update in real time. All right. Each fan gets you $100. All right? Per year. So the yearly value. Everyone's very excited about we're literally in a class now. I'm like in a class now. I have like a board and everything. This is so cool. Oh my god. The yearly value of the customer is $100, let's assume. Okay, that's actually all we need. So, college friends. So how much money would this individual person be earning?
100,000.
If the yearly value of a customer is $100 and they have 1,000 fans, how much is it? Did anybody get it? I'm asking you, college. It's your class. Yeah. Twitch chat knows. Okay, all right. So it's $100,000 a year. So that's not that bad, is it? As an influencer, if you're making $100K a year and you get because all of your customers are worth $100 and you only have 1,000 fans, that's $100,000 a year, which is full-time income in most places unless you live like me in Seattle, but it's not. but in most places it is. Okay, so the point here is to, and this is basically what this article is about, by KT Rolster. The point is, and we can like pull it up real quick. So the point is, do you need to be a multi-million followed person with tons of people on your Instagram being showered with praise everywhere you go, right? It's like, so this like,
cost per. There. Cost per 1,000.
this traditional advertising doesn't work anymore. What does work is like these sort of like authentic, what we call calls to action, and we actually have an emote. It's called Mill CTA. It's like me going like this, like that, like because it's what I asked them to give me money basically, because they forgot to do it. So when you ask someone to give you money, and they forget to do it, it's called a call to action. Hey, this is really important for you all. If you're does anyone take notes in college anymore? Is that a thing? Okay, cool. Take a note of this. CTAs, right? So calls to action are super important. I actually haven't gotten to that section yet, but what a call to action is like, hey, Twitch chat, yo, listen to me. Wait, what's our number? Hang on. Okay, we are 2 subs away from 840 subs. So, you guys, I need some backup here. Toss me a subscription if you get value out of this, okay? Look at this. We're talking to Emerson College about streaming right now. Isn't that amazing? Okay? You can support this broadcast by subscribing to either Twitch Prime, them into kind of as extent, yell at somebody to buy a product, and they will. And it's like, wait, why would that be the case? Well, it's because they're gonna, oh, there you go. Evan, thank you very much. See, Bobby, you got it. You have to do it with the music? I can, yeah. Would you rather people gift than donate? No, like gifting subs is fine. I don't think they can hear the music if I do. So, but like tips are, okay, if you give me $10, then I have that $10 for a sandwich. If you gift 2 subs, then I have $5 for a sandwich. But I have 2 subs. This is a trade-off. Okay, so like CTAs, they're what I just calls to action towards things. If you do them, the more you, and like what's really weird about calls to action, it doesn't seem like there's like an upper limit. So like I could probably just make this entire stream, and there are indeed entire streams of people just thanking subs and telling people to subscribe, and they do. And it's like, I don't understand. Don't ask me about how that works. It's like that's like some quantum physics shit. I don't know. Like that, I don't know why, but like I swear to you, it actually happens. It just feels like some of the bigger streamers with like 10,000 viewers, they're just perpetual gifting subs and thanking subs and going back and forth, and there's literally like no value beyond that. Okay, so the next one is sponsorships, and sponsorships. I'll get into like the internals of like how they actually work. And Stephanie, you can interrupt me at any time and tell me like, oh, we talked about this. This is boring or whatever. Like, yeah. So like sponsorships are typically monthly, and they'll be from, so the most important thing to understand about sponsorships, I think, is endemic and non-endemic. Endemic means that it's a sponsor that typically supports video games. You guys get more subs? Where are the gnomes coming from? Oh my god. Oh, Dow gifting 20 subs. Yo, clap it up. Thank you very much. That's insane. Thank you very much, man. Don't make me into a thanking sub stream, but thank you. A lot of really cool people just got subs. That was super awesome. Guys, clap it up. And we have like a Hall of Fame thing. So in my like Hall of Fame media, kind of like I know Offline TV, which is like Pokey, where I have like topics, I wonder if I could like actually pull it up. I don't usually like reveal my topics, but this is kind of a special stream, so like maybe we'll do it. So
No
here's,
way.
like, some topics,
Wait, is that
right?
the
I
one
actually
with
have a
the-
show, which is like here's like some of the interesting stuff like YouTube demonetization we're going to talk about. Like this is the next like couple days that we're going to start talking about this, right? And then I have and like now everybody in his chat, they're like, hey, reveal, like tell them, and he's like, no, right? I want them to suffer to the maximum. I want them to go for Kit Boga. So he's live right now. So what he does is he dresses up. He basically uses a voice changer, and he talks like a grandma. And what he does is he calls Indian scammers, and he leads them through these long and involved processes. They're trying to scam him to get money, and he's just never going to give them money. But he role plays these old people, right, that essentially don't know. And so Kit Boga has like gotten this down to an absolute mastery. And what and that's so that timer in the corner right there is how long he's been on the freaking call with like the particular scammer that he's leading. And like he used to do this thing which he did was called revealing. So what a reveal would be like, at the end he'd be like, at the end of the call he'd be like, haha, I got you. I'm not really this old person. I'm this guy that's just wasting your time so you can't scam other people. But he's like since like evolved, and like now everybody in his chat, they're like, hey, reveal, like tell them, and he's like, no, right? I want them to suffer to the maximum. I want them to go for eons before they understand how much time they've wasted. Like he has like literally put this to a sort of like transcendental level. He's gotten so good at this. It's actually ridiculous. And he's got 10,000 concurrent viewers right now, right? Just watching him do this. And this is a pre-prepared show. He knows who he's going to call. He knows what he's going to do. He has like a whole like setup for it. This is what we should see more of on Twitch. But because the platform is so new, you see much more of this sort of like, you know, like someone like Asmongold. I'm much more nervous clicking on this guy's chat. But this guy's just playing World of Warcraft. And that's it. This is what you see is what you get. But 40,000 people will still watch this, you know, for whatever reason. And because he's a really good entertainer. And you know, he's like not really doing anything. You know, but there's no like point to this show. You know, he doesn't know what he's doing before he starts. He thinks he does, but he doesn't. Okay. So pre-produced shows, I think, are something that you all can think about a lot more when you're starting streams. Is like, what do I want this stream to be about? Like, what would be cool for me to it's gonna be hosted by him and some other really convinced me to do it. Also paid me. So that was a factor. And I'm gonna give a talk at Carnegie Mellon, which is in Pittsburgh, which is like a hell of a long flight, like out there somewhere. And I'm doing that, I think, the week after next. Okay, so like, and that's like crazy. So and at the same time as that's happening, guys in chat, can they see the chat? They can, right? Oh, Monkey Giga. Okay, guys, post where are you? Like, what country are you in right now? Or what state? Like, where are you? Just post it. Germany, Norway, Oregon, Belgium, Florida, UK, London, Brazil, Baltimore, Singapore. Like right now, I don't even know some of these places have internet.
Oh.
Kuwait, I think
Yeah.
you're probably not from Kuwait. But maybe. They have like internet, right? They probably have internet. Okay, sorry. Okay, Texas, Thailand, right? Like, look at this. Like, stop saying North Korea. I know you're not from North Korea. There's no way. That one is not gonna get past me. Okay, California. Yeah. So the point being, people are from literally all over the place seeing this live, and I can tell them anything. I don't even know what to tell them right now. Like, guys, invest in the S&P 500 responsibly. Do dollar cost averaging. Right? I don't know. Like, you can tell them anything. This is an insane platform. And and like the implications of which we are not even close to understanding. And so I just like, I hope that from this class and from Stephanie, like you're learning, and from me, I guess, like by proxy a little bit, just how cool this is. And like what the potential of it is. And I think the future, this is a good conclusion, because I've been thinking about how I'm gonna conclude this the entire time I just bullshitted for the last 5 minutes. Okay, so I think that all of us are essentially brands going forward in some way or another. and indeed the leveraging power that you have to any company these days, if you have an Instagram following or a Twitter following or a YouTube following, no matter what your industry is going to be, some of you are going to go become, you guys are from Emerson College, so you're really smart. Not like me. I went to a liberal arts college that had like 1,000 people, and I am not smart. But you guys are smart, so you're going to get like good jobs. And like, you're going to be like engineers and like doctors and stuff and lawyers and like, and maybe you're going to be like Twitch streamers or whatever. So like, whoops. Okay, but whatever you become, it's going to be really good. So you guys having a brand and like being influencers behind that, it's just going to actually leverage you even further than if you just had that clout from Emerson. Believe it or not, you'll actually be even bigger. And like all y'all are like probably like 20 to 30 years old, right? 20 to 25.
Younger than that. Like, what are you guys, like 20? 22? Yeah, 20.
Oh my god, dude! If you guys get started on this kind of like thing, right? You guys think like TikTok is cool and that sort of stuff, right? Like,
No.
okay, that's not cool anymore. All right, I'm just messing with you. All right. If you get started now, you could mess up, do nothing for the next 5 years, and you still not even be a fifth of your life. Like, if you get started building a brand right now, in 5, 6, 7, 8, like I've been at this 2012, right? Like, in 7 years, you'd be incredible. And don't underestimate that like efficiency, that time efficiency, because like it really is a numbers game. It's like posting more content, like until something clicks and something hits, and you learn. So everyone, I think, is going to be an influencer, micro or macro, in some way going forward. And I thought there was a really cool movie about this, like Ready Player One. Did any of you see that? Someone in chat be like, well, it's originally a book. Like, yeah, I know, but like, it's a movie, okay? So like, that movie was like an example of like everybody has that kind of power. So you have that power as an influencer. I think that's really super cool. So yeah, I'm gonna take questions now and stop talking because I think that's like a really neat idea. And thanks.
Cool.
Wow.
I guess. What questions do you have? You can shout them out. Also typing it.
Chat, post questions about growth and money and streaming and stuff like that. Also, but the Emerson College folks take priority. Because you can ask me anytime. Why does no one love me? You don't work on yourself enough. You need to focus more on your self-improvement. Yeah.
How do you see, what like new features do you think could help Twitch kind of overtake YouTube in the ways that you think that YouTube's already better than Twitch?
Damn. Chat, why don't you ask questions like that? You ask like, how do I find a girlfriend, or like, why does this smell bad, or like, there's this thing on my foot. Like, what is this? Look at that question. That was such a good question. What new features do you think could help Twitch overtake YouTube? Because you ignore me? Because you ask bad questions. It's a vicious cycle. Okay? All right? It's not my fault. It's the children who are wrong. Okay? Like, that's a fantastic question. So, the number one thing I think is a system of machine learning. So I'm gonna show you right now. If we go to Twitch, and we go to the browse feature right now, the way that I find content is typically by viewers sorted high to low. Okay, and what that so Asmongold appears first, then Tim the Tapman. These are all like really then like this crazy. I think that's a Korean streamer chat. I think those are Korean words. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's probably Russian. So this is how people find content. Now, Asmongold may not be the content I want to watch, right? But if I go onto YouTube and I type best priest builds World of Warcraft Classic, it doesn't sort by the number of views. This one happens to have 624K views because it's the most relevant to what I asked, right? Now, here's like a PvE guy that has 166, and then 187, 183. Here's one with just 60K, and you scroll down, and then here's one just with 16K. Now, maybe this actually happens to be the one that I want to watch. And this is the consummate difference between YouTube and Twitch right now, is that on the World of Warcraft section, Asmon may not be the person that I want to watch for World of Warcraft content. It may be someone completely different. So Twitch, and I mean this is very recently, has implemented this sort by, if you see here, recommended for you, where it's still puts Asmongold at the top. That's fucking, that's hilarious. Okay, but like that's because the ML is like very weak on this. But you're seeing that like the second streamer now has 582 viewers, and the reason why I'm getting recommended this guy is because he actually crosses over with another stream I watch called which is Destiny, and so Destiny and Destiny shares viewership with this guy. So they said, oh, they're just running like a really simple algorithm. Oh, because you watch this guy, you probably like this guy, who the other people also watch this guy. Does that make sense? Oh, God. Okay, cool. All right, I thought it didn't. So that's how that works. Very simple. But over time, this will evolve. And so ideally, when you click on the Browse tab, you should be recommended the stream that you're most interested in watching.
Green, blue, red.
And then that will remove this sort of like feast
Oh, shit.
of like the greatest
Cast
most
potato
powerful
shaking.
people rising to the top. Because that's not how it should be, right? You should get served the best content that you want. So it's like, here's a good example, like a corollary. If you go into Jamba Juice, do you have Jamba Juice there? What's your smoothie place in Boston?
We have that. What's it?
Someone let me go.
You don't have smoothies in Boston? You haven't invented it yet?
Blood Rage, Blinker.
We have smoothie places.
That's going to be a cool invention when it gets there. It might be so cold you just can't bother. I was in Boston for PAX East, and like that, like my Airbnb didn't have heat, and the cold in Boston, like the cold in Seattle, it's like wussy cold, right? It's like, oh, I'm kind of cold, like ooh, it's like a little bit nippy in the morning. But like Boston is like, I am going to freeze your bones. Like I'm going to go through your skin, and I'm going to freeze your bones. I don't know how you guys deal with it. It's actually insanely cold there.
Coffee in it though.
There's good coffee.
Iced coffee 365 days a year.
Yeah, I mean, if you put your hot coffee outside, it becomes iced coffee. It's like, so like, the corollary I would say is like, if the most popular Jamba Juice is a strawberry banana smoothie, okay, well, it may not necessarily be great if every time you walk into Jamba Juice, they just give you that. And you're like, I actually wanted an Oreo smoothie. They're like, too bad, this is what you get, right? That's what Twitch is right now. But you want to make it more like YouTube, which is like, here's a menu, and you can select it based on your request. Does that help answer your question?
Anger.
Cool. Also, I think that, let me go back to your question because I wrote it down. I think Twitch could definitely improve its ad viewing, right, and its monetization, because like and for TwitchCon they added some stuff. Like one really interesting thing is now if I run an ad, my stream actually still plays in picture-in-picture, meaning that I'm more comfortable running ads. So there's like changes like that. But I think it's also important to realize that like YouTube and Twitch are different platforms, right? Like YouTube is a video on demand platform. Twitch has tried to make that like a thing, but they really can't. Like YouTube really owns that market. And if Twitch is not careful, YouTube will own live streaming too if they don't compete with machine learning. I think that'd be like the #1 thing. Thank you for your question. It's awesome.
Other question.
So you talk about having planned content being like a goal for streamers in the future.
Yeah.
But because of the spontaneous nature of video games and just like not really knowing what's going to happen, how would you go about planning a Twitch stream based around a video game, especially one that doesn't necessarily have like a story mode and is more online focused?
Oh yeah, fantastic question. So let's take World of Warcraft for example, right? Actually, let's take League of Legends because I did that. Kafir, are you still here? Or Andy's here. Okay, cool. So these are like really long-time people. So some of the stuff that we did was like subscriber streams. Holy shit, these questions are better than my IQ. Mine too, dude. Yeah, these guys are like real smart. Like I'm out of my league here. Like this is yeah. So we did subscriber streams, right? We did a thing called Sub Wars, where we like League of Legends has no point, right? And in the case of League of Legends, it literally has no point. It's just like there's why are you playing this? There's no point to playing this. Literally. Okay, so like Sub Wars is like where we take 10 subscribers and we 5v5 and I watch it and laugh. That's basically the model. Okay. So like another one was like tier listing, where it's like we take all of the champions from X role, say jungle, and we rank how good they are. You can take something like World of Warcraft, which is like subscriber raids, dueling tournaments. Right now, Asmongold, I think, is running a dueling tournament that's like $40,000 prize, right? I think something like that. So the point here is like, you literally just like sit back and you think, maybe at the beginning of your stream, or I like to do it at the end of the day, what is something that is going to be fun for my viewers? So I make sure every day that I have something that the viewers know we're going to talk about. So like, for example, tomorrow we're doing a huge breakdown on everything that happened at TwitchCon and why it matters on Twitch. And after that, we have some like relevant Twitch and esports news. But the point is, it's a very small difference that you asked the question around, but it's a key difference. It's that it's the difference that you quickly start streaming, and like maybe you're. And by the way, a lot of this is actually exemplified in stream title. So look at my stream title. My stream title is super marketing, right? Growing and making money from new media, Skyping into Emerson college class, and then I have my Discord in there because Discord is like really important for like growing a community. So if your title is like playing World of Warcraft, who gives a shit, right? Like anybody can do that. Or you can make it a little better and you can say like, wow, playing WoW, come join, interactive streamer, and this is like still like okay, right? Or you can just put like, beautiful girl, skip all this, just watch me. No, I'm kidding. That doesn't actually really work. Okay, so it's just a joke. Okay, but here's like a really good title, is something like special doing tournaments, giveaways and prizes, win $50. Okay, that's a good title. Like, and I'd like iterate on it a little bit, but that gives you an example of like, see the difference between this and this. It's literally just how you thought about your stream. And again, like if I was approaching like a gaming stream, that's what I would think about, is making that planned content around it. So do anyone know a guy named XQC?
Yeah.
Okay, XQC is one of the most like popular broadcasters on the platform, and I've talked to him a lot about this now, and we had like an hour we talked about this at TwitchCon, and his like big thing is like, usually a person checking out your stream will give you like 20 to 30 seconds if they're there for the first time. Maybe it kind of depends on like how they heard you or like how they heard of you, but we'll just say it's like 30 seconds. So XQC built his stream off the idea that something freaking crazy should be going on every 30 seconds. So that when somebody comes in, I just realized I spelled that calf, and nobody corrected me. Thanks, chat. Okay. Every 35 seconds, something interesting is happening on the stream, and as a result, that one viewer that is going to come in and be interested, and that's another follower, right? I love that idea of like, you don't have to plan content out, but you have to think about that from that perspective of like, as an entertainer, I need to keep it going. I need to keep the process going. I think that's really, really critical to being a good entertainer. And keep in mind, in a lot of ways, I probably know more on this than XQC, right? But like, even though XQC is an infinitely better entertainer than I ever will be, I've coached like literally hundreds of streamers on this. So like, it's good advice. Yeah, okay. All right, let's keep going.
How's the train?
That answer your question, Bobby? Other questions? Yeah?
So having been kind of on the back end, what kind of information is Amazon particularly able to get from linking up your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and how is that valuable to them?
Good question. So the question is, what info does Amazon get via Twitch, Amazon Prime? So unfortunately, Twitch only really collects your email. Does Twitch ask your age when you create? I don't think it does. It just asks you if you're over like 13, right, chat? I think that, so the answer is actually, Twitch is not really getting, it does ask your age? Wrong? Gender? Okay, so email, gender, yeah, I'll bump the, yeah, but if you guys know me, then I can't boost the volume. You link game IDs? Will this be on the midterm? Yes, this is all a test. I'm gonna be testing you all on this. Okay, so it's email and gender. So the data that Amazon collects, right, via like ushop at Amazon.com is insane. It's like everything. It's like if you buy like a ribbon for your dog, like you're getting dog ribbons for the rest of your life, like they're gonna know. But the most involved platform for data acquisition is by far Facebook, and this is why Facebook is one of the like most monetizable platforms. Like Facebook, like if you want to advertise to like if I want to advertise to like Emerson College students only in your local area, I could actually do that. It's like really insane. Like I could like run a Facebook. I should have done that for like this stream and have like people go into it. But Twitch doesn't actually collect that much information, and as a result, I think that
So many zombies.
something they can't sell, and maybe hopefully that gets better. But because that's bad for everybody, right? Like people think that data, like not collecting data is like a good thing, but it's objectively bad because Twitch has a hard time giving us what we want. Whereas like on Amazon or on like YouTube, I'll go on YouTube right now and I'll look at like my my recommendations, and I'll see stuff that I don't even know that I want to watch, right? Jordan Peterson, How to Attract Women. That sounds interesting, like right? Like I didn't know I wanted to watch that. Sounds great, right? We could watch that. So like. The key to happiness or whatever. Why Palpatine feared Qui-Gon Jinn? I kind of want to know that, right? Why was he afraid of Qui-Gon Jinn? I don't know, right? like these things are because YouTube collects a massive amount of data about your search history, but Twitch really doesn't use this yet because it's a very new platform. So right now Twitch just really doesn't collect a lot of data. Does that answer your question? Do you want me to expand on that anyway? Yeah, cool.
Devin, that makes me think of something you said earlier about selling data. There was some Twitch data you were talking about. You talked about selling it to Amazon. So Amazon can't directly access that even though they own Twitch?
Yeah, so we collect better data than Twitch does. How funny is that as Nerd Fusion? And the way we do it is we have a chat bot in every chat over 12 viewers. A bot sits there and it aggregates all well, I don't want to tell exactly what it does, but actually fuck it. Here's exactly what it does. It collects all chat messages. It collects video, so it could actually so if the streamer says the word pizza, we can actually figure out how many times the word pizza was uttered, and then we can go to like Domino's and we can say, hey, here are the top streams on Twitch that actually talk about pizza. You might want to advertise with these streams. And then we can also do audio and visual recognition. So if the chat, one of the like most basic ways we do this is chat likes to spam this emote. It's called LOL. Chat spam lol. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So like the way that it works is like we can count the number of lols in chat, right? And we know to measure that against moments that the streamer has that are funny. So like we can go back through a VOD and we can tell which clips would be the best clips based on how many lols there are. So Twitch doesn't know this. Twitch could do this, but they just are like they're just a bureaucracy, so they don't do this. So like, we look so embarrassing in front of college students. I promise you're the only one in chat that cares about that. Like, yeah. So Twitch. So what we do is we actually package that data, and then we sell it back to Twitch and Amazon because they don't collect it. Yeah. So like, yeah, we actually have better data than Twitch does. And we probably always will. Like for the and that's not abnormal. Like there are companies that like that collect data off of Facebook that like Facebook has really good analytics, but they might just not be like focused on the kind of like thing that maybe a third-party company is focused on. So like for example, maybe Facebook isn't as focused on like buying habits of consumers. Maybe that's more of like an Amazon thing, so they trade through data. But data is like third-party data is like definitely one of the
They already killed him.
huge monetization things that goes in the background of Twitch, and there's $1 million deals that get settled for this with Twitch and Amazon. But yeah, I know it's funny you brought that up, and you're really intuitive because a lot of people don't catch that. But the idea that we sell Twitch sounds really stupid, but yeah, it's actually true. If Twitch was a better company, then maybe not, but yeah.
I already have that one.
So like I know that like on like the broadcasting side that like Twitch is already male, but like having seen the analytics, like is the viewership closer to 50-50? Because like I know a lot of women who watch Twitch and don't necessarily stream.
It's 14% female, and like I said, I can't do math. So chat, what's 100 minus 14? Actually, why am I asking chat? I asked Emerson College. You're way smarter. 86. Okay. Someone say 82. Uh-oh. We got one through someone cheated the application process. All right. Is that okay. Yeah. You're on the humanities section. I see. No, I'm screwing with you. All right. Yeah. It's 86. So women in gaming is like we can do an entire class just on this subject, but I think this is one of the biggest problems that we have as a platform. And I made a video about this on my YouTube channel, which I'm going to shout out here, which is youtube.com/DevinNash, which you should all subscribe to. It's called the truth about women on Twitch. So what this video is basically about is everybody thinks that women make more money on Twitch, have way higher tips, have way easier success, and that is just objectively by every metric false. It is harder to be a woman on Twitch than it is just impossibly harder, and you have to deal with infinitely more bullshit. So let me just show you one thing from my from a study. Okay, so on the right side here is the top words that are uttered in a chat for men. On the left side is the top words that are uttered in chat for a woman. See the difference? It sucks to be a woman on Twitch. Holy shit, is it so hard? And a huge reason is because it's just the gaming community, and particularly the male-dominated community on Twitch, is just so bad to female broadcasters, and we have to change this. And like, I don't have time to get into all the ways that we should do this, but you know, it comes to awareness and initiatives. One of the things we did in esports when I was running a team called Counterlogic Gaming is we started a team of all female gamers called CLG Red, and CLG Red is a team sponsored by Intel that tries to promote women and awareness in gaming. So unfortunately, the stats are still very skewed. Twitch says they have a higher percentage of women watching than actually are watching. Our analytics are better than Twitch's, and I can tell you that there's way less females watching than they say. It's still a huge problem. That's an awesome question, by the way. Thank you.
Alright, I think they're good on questions. I don't know if there's any concluding thoughts you've got, Devin.
So I'm just really curious, like, out of the people in chat, how many of them actually think that they want to be broadcasters? They can, like, raise hands and you can, like, tell me.
Yeah, raise your hand. Okay. It's like half the room.
That's insane. Okay, cool. And, like, how many of you think that you want to have, like, something to do with, like, brands and influencing or like, even if it's not Twitch, like, something else?
A little more than half.
Okay, so like, for the people that are in the audience, I want to tell you, like, I want to give you like some like inspirational stuff, like you know what I mean. But like, we had a lot of fun today. But like in seriousness, you're gonna go like back to what you're doing, and maybe like some of this like I hope makes like a positive impression on you. And it was a huge honor to talk to you today. Oh my God, like I'm gonna actually go to Kevin and Garvey, and I'm gonna tell him like we should do this for more colleges, because I think this is like a really incredible idea of like having a Twitch streamer. Yeah, and like you're pioneering it, Stephanie. So like, yo, like, can we clap it up for Stephanie also? Like, she works really hard for you guys. Let's go. All right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We'll clap in chat too. You can get the virtual claps. Yeah, like, it's really hard to be a teacher. You don't get paid enough, and like, so like you don't care about it like now, but trust me, like you'll be like, oh my God, like some of my college professors, they changed my life with some of the classes that I took. And like, so in concluding thoughts, yeah. Because it's probably over time, and like I know when I was in college and the clock was passed, like I need to get the hell out of here, so I'll try to be short. But yeah. Okay, so guys, like it is an unprecedented time. Like the options we have in new media are so cool, and just spending a little bit of time to think about how you can uniquely impact that with your voice, with your opportunity. That dude that was doing humanities and creative, like, right, you have something you can share. Maybe you're doing art, maybe you're doing music, maybe you're doing something unique that you can share with the world. I believe everybody has that kind of imprint that they can make on the world in a positive way, and they can add to it, and you can do that as an amplifier, right? Some people say that social media is an echo chamber. It's for a bunch of people to talk back and forth, and for it to go back and forth. I think that social media, including Twitch and YouTube, is an amplifier. I think you can put your voice out there, and you can potentially go to thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people, and think about the imprint you can have on society and civilization if you do that for the positive, right? That has been my passion. I believe I have an obligation to serve people and to go forward and give people positive imprints and basically make their day a little bit better as a result of being here. And I absolutely am passionate and love my community who comes here every day to support me. And I think hopefully feels that way. And I can tell you guys, I haven't talked about this yet. I just came from TwitchCon, which is a big convention where all of us nerds get together and talk about this and sit around. The hundreds of people that came up to me and said, "Hey, that YouTube video you did about time management, that one talk you had that I didn't even remember 2 years ago or 4 years ago, helped me with my depression, or helped me get off drugs or something." I cried. I was so emotionally moved by that, and that's the power that every single one of you has if you want to create a platform and you want to do this. And it's going to take a ton of hard work, and it's getting harder every day, because one of the most influential things that somebody told me, also in college, I was in a finance class with a really mean teacher, and what he said, well, he didn't say Emerson, he said Harvard, but he said, there are students right now that are working very hard at another college, and they're going to be competing for your jobs. And your only X factor is working harder than them. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. But I just want you to be aware of the power you have going forward in social media to hopefully make an imprint for good. There's a lot of sucky stuff in this world, and there's a lot of people that are using social media for bad. But if you become one of those people that makes a positive imprint, I think you can change the world, and I fucking want you to. And join me on that quest and do that. Like, every one of you, you're super smart. You're from Emerson College. Like, you're going to one of the most prestigious universities in the United States. Like, use it, right? Like, you have that unique ability, and I hope you use it. And I'm championing you. I'm voting for you. And please, like, do the best you can with this world. Like, we have an amazing future ahead of us. So thank you so much for taking the time to be here with me.
Thank you so much, Devin. It was like super awesome having you do this.
Hell yeah.
I wasn't sure how this was gonna work out, but
I wasn't either. But hopefully it was good. If it was, tell Kevin and Garvey. And a special shout out to Twitch Student for making this possible. It really is them that organized this entire thing.
it was great. Thanks again, Devin. This was fantastic. So much for taking time out of your day, waking up early to talk with us.
My stream is supposed to start at 9 a.m. So ironically, this is like one of the only streams we've actually done on time because you guys got me up. So thank you very much. My chat has actually thanks you for this because we're actually here at the right time.
Well, fantastic. Well, we'll let you go so you can get on with the rest of your stream, the rest of your day.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's been a huge honor to talk to you.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.
Holy crap.
They're trying to make out he still owes FaZe deliverables.
Right.
On work that they weren't even legally allowed to engage him in. I mean, they're in fucking cloud cuckoo land if they, if they think they've got a good chance of winning this. Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Can you hear me okay? I can hear you fine. Awesome.
Great, we just said the same things.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, we just get jinxed. Let me just make sure I got the video coming through.
Holy crap.
It's not showing the picture for some reason.
I too will try to do that. We'll do the tech thing.
Yeah, God, I fucking honestly, man, I hate XSplit. I mean, I
You're
use
still
it
using
because,
XSplit?
Yeah, I won't go to OBS. I'm like some fucking dinosaur, dude. I won't do it myself. Alright, hang on. Let me just try. Oh yeah, I know what I just did. I got it.
So it's actually amazing that we haven't connected before.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't
we met
one?
We met
Yeah.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, at the Turner thing.
Yeah.
That at the time was really secret because that was for the new CS:GO week. Remember?
Yeah, that was the one where Crazy Kim Rom tried to fight me, right?
Yes, that was my first impression of you. Was like you just got in a fight with a dude, or a guy got in a fight with you. Yeah. Then immediately, I was like, "Holy shit, this guy's intense!" Like that was like 2 seconds into meeting you. Yeah. That was
I mean, I don't know if I don't even know if I've ever told that story, but Kim Rom was out there trying to get like some fucking media job at Turner, and he got fucking shit-faced drunk, and in front of all the executives was like trying to push me and like square up to me over something I'd said about On-Gamers, because I don't know if you remember, On-Gamers got banned by Reddit.
Okay.
And a load of On-Gamers staff came out and said, oh, the reason we got fucked by Reddit was like Kim Rom had a bunch of accounts, like Reddit accounts, and he was like upvoting the first 10 upvotes, like with these fake accounts to game the algorithm, and that's why we all got shut down. And I think I repeated it on like Unfiltered or whatever fucking podcast I was doing with your boy Steven. And anyway, he came up to me and tried to start a fight with me over that. It was like fucking insane.
It was wild.
And then when the exec told us to hug it out, so I like went, okay, come here. And I was like, I'm just gonna jump through these hoops because I want this 6-figure TV job. He like leaned in and like he nipped me on the ribs like a little bitch, like gave me a little nip like that right on the skin, right on my love handle, to try and get like swing at him, dude. Fucking crazy. I have met some absolute hardcore derelicts in esports. Like it's got to be said. Like I've never met so many unstable people. But hopefully that didn't leave a bad impression, because
it didn't.
I don't think that was my fault. Really.
It didn't. I mean, I knew a lot about you from before, and I've still been following your stuff. I mean, the whole Rick Fox thing that you put out, I think, was excellent, and I thought was like really on point. And I'm really glad that was out there. You know, so I've been a fan of your exposés and your work for quite a while.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest as well. I've been enjoying you kind of moving over and being a full-time streamer now.
Yeah, it's my other identity on top of the music stuff we do. But it works out.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell people like, we've got you on the stream to talk about this particular issue with you and FaZe, like, because you do have some expertise. I watched your stream last night and was kind of picking out, and watched some of the VODs and stuff today. And you were all over live stream fail, of course. So there is a reason. You're not just a random dude I pulled into the call that I met once in Atlanta.
Do you pull in random dudes often, or how does that go?
You'd be surprised. This stream can get pretty strange. So.
Yeah, okay. I guess I try to be. I don't know like how qualified I am. I was previously I was the regional manager for Team Dignitas. That's kind of how I got started in esports, and before that I had run a broadcast that was focused on the most positive game ever known, which is League of Legends. And that was a podcast, a Twitch stream that attempted to bring positivity to that game. I don't know how well it did, but we got some pickup from Riot there in esports, and that transitioned me into the work with Dignitas. And then from there, I took on the role as a CEO of Counterlogic Gaming, which is where we met.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I'd been doing.
You were like George's handler at that event, right?
So it traded back and forth. Sometimes he was my handler, and sometimes I was his. It was hard to see on any given day.
George is a cool.
I love George, dude. I owe him so much. He's really one of the most underrated people in esports.
For sure.
Yeah, and so I came from there. I'm in between that. I did a lot of consulting for esports teams and stuff like that. But I think like the angle I'm taking on, like, I don't usually like approach issues that, because there's one of the reasons I was so interested in the way that you're doing this. I went through and like read all your tweets on it and like some of your stream on it, is because I think you're able to separate the business from the drama, right? And that's what seems to be like a lot of people that are reporting on this issue just don't understand. Like there is this whole like TFU / like argument going on, but at the same time there's the business side of it, which everyone seems to be ignoring, which are like serious allegations. And I think like
unbelievably so,
unbelievably serious allegations, and particularly how FaZe is responding to that, I think sort of undermines the credibility of our industry as a whole, and is one of the reasons why I've taken such a strong stance on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, so just to inform people who are tuning in, you made a couple of points that I myself, didn't make and didn't really pick up on. I mean, first of all, there was the point where you're right in the video that Banks did responding it, which I did a breakdown of that too. But it's still on the Twitch channel for anyone who has missed it. You can go give it a quick watch at some point. But he has said like, one of the parts of the complaint, and I thought this was petty and childish, but I understand it's a legal tactic to say, oh me, I was forced to drink alcohol, and oh, I would never dream of such terrible, wild, crazy, non-Christian activity. Like it's a bit pathetic, but I understand why. the last thing you want to say as a team owner, somebody who would have a duty of care to players living in a property that's, run by you, is, oh, I knew you were all underage drinking.
Yeah,
And
which he
I
literally
didn't pick
said.
up on that, like, as he said it, I kind of glossed over that. But that's unbelievably dumb to say.
It's insane, yeah. I mean, do you feel like there's any, like, do you think that, like, what Banks is doing is just out of, like, pure ignorance, like, or, like as a business owner, or do you think, like, there's some, like, 200 IQ play here we're missing? Like, I can't figure it out.
Okay, so the only 200 IQ play is that they've already accepted internally they're going to let TFU walk from the contract, and they're going to do that sort of quietly, because now the big fight isn't with TFU, it's with the Labor Commission.
Exactly.
Right. That's the big fight that's coming up now, and the fact they've already got the head of the Labor Commission to even look at this is unbelievably bad for FaZe. Unbelievably bad for a lot of them.
Yeah. And like once the government starts looking into where the bodies are buried, like people like you and me have just waiting years for that to happen. Like it's like a matter of when, not if, right? And when that happens, I think that's one of the huge things here is like there are really two separate issues, right? There's the court case, and who the hell knows what happens with that? Like maybe it settles, maybe it actually goes to court, and like probably TFU has a very. I've actually been looking into his law firm while we had a little bit of time while we were talking, and apparently he's hired like a fucking like top tier law firm.
No, this is no joke. I mean, this guy as well. Not only is he unbelievably experienced in this specific type of law, this isn't like when Phantom Lord got like a law firm that hadn't experience in broadcasting but was like dealing with like retail complaints and stuff. This guy is shit hot on this specific issue, and he's a fucking crusader. He even said it in his statement. We're not just coming for FaZe with this. We're gonna change the entire paradigm for every player, for everybody who is being, exploited is how they frame it in this way. So I mean, this guy's not going away. I mean, and the thing is, even if FaZe do settle, there's still a chance this guy wants to get involved with like maybe some class action we could see. I mean, I think this lawyer's going absolutely fucking nowhere, even if this case dies very quickly.
Well, I think that's like a critical component of this, right? Is that like the aim is to set a precedent for two things, right? And it's kind of two things that we've always wondered about as an industry. One is the exclusivity thing, right? Is that because the exclusivity thing that's written into every esports player's contract, which is like you can only play for our team and you can only do sponsorship deals with us as we are your AOR, does that uphold against California's non-compete? And no one really knows. It just hasn't been contested. Yeah. And so that's the precedent number one. And then precedent number two is like, are esports teams even going to be able to operate in the current ecosystem with all the the things that just go on in team houses, like everything from underage drinking to workman's compensation issues to food. Like food's like a huge issue. Like, how is the FDA going to get involved with feeding employees? Like all these things are up in the air, and any lawyer that's worth their salt is going to love taking on those issues, right? With FaZe taking the fall for it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. This has probably been a long time coming. I talked a little bit last night about how I covered an almost identical story in 2015 when Twitch bought the Good Game Agency, because Alex Garfield's Good Game Agency was saying it was a talent agency, and it was going out and engaging people